The mysterious ruins of Hopton Castle still bear the scars of a tragic past. 400 years ago, this fortress was torn apart by a civil war siege. The small band of defenders inside, who were loyal to Parliament, gave their lives defending it against an army of King Charles I. Today, only the tower survives as witness to their heroic last stand, and nobody's got any idea what the rest of this castle looked like. So that's where we come in. We've been invited here by the local Preservation Society to try to find out, and maybe to solve a little mystery along the way. Richard, you're our castles expert, and you want us not only to sort out what the castle looked like during the Civil War, but to address the issue of a war crime.
Indeed, yes. Because not only is it a fantastic site, you've got a fantastic story with the Civil War siege and these brave garrison holding out against the Royalists for several weeks before finally surrendering and then being rather brutally murdered.
Helen, you're particularly excited about this site, aren't you?
I am, because it's got this fantastic historical account. We've got a description of what went on written by the garrison commander, the chap who was in charge of defending this place. And it gives lots of details of the buildings that were here. But it is rather one-sided. Obviously, it's only his account. And it's a really fantastic opportunity for archaeology to find out how much of this is true.
Neil, you're the boss over the next 3 days. How are we going to tackle this site?
Very carefully. This is a very sensitive site, Tony. Not only is it a scheduled monument, a nationally important archaeological site, it's also potentially the site of a mass grave.
Yeah, I understand we have to be sensitive, but that doesn't mean we're going to ignore the bodies, does it?
No, but it's not a grave chase, Tony. What I want to do is actually use the archaeological evidence to see how reliable is this historical site. Can we get traces of the actual siege? How truthful is the history?
Most of what we know about the Siege of Hopton comes from a man called Colonel Samuel Moore, the garrison commander. He wrote it all down in his journal, and it reads like a novel.
Game! Fire!
He says that the Royalists attacked the outnumbered defenders 3 times, losing hundreds of men. It was only when the attackers had the parliamentarians cornered in the tower that they finally gave up. And instead of showing mercy, the Royalist commander put everyone except Colonel Moore to the sword. But did it really happen the way he said it did?
Hello, my name's John Gator. Time Team is fan-funded by Patreon. This vital support helps us to make new episodes. Joining Patreon gives you access to exclusive interviews, 3D models and masterclasses, plus lots more.